So let's talk for a few minutes about the options that are available for a person to get custody in Florida of a child that is not theirs, or to make decisions for or have the child in their care and custody. So we have kind of a few levels of things that are available. For a caregiver who is just going to babysit or keep the child for a short duration of time, we can do a power of attorney. A power of attorney is going to give that person the authority to do certain limited things like take the child to the doctor, potentially register the child in school, get information from medical providers, those types of things. So if you are looking to leave the country for a month and have another person take care of the child during that period, a power of attorney may be the right option. The next step up from that in Florida is really only appropriate for a relative of the child. So that is called a temporary custody by a relative caregiver, and that happens under a statute that we have that is statute number 751. So a lot of times attorneys will refer to these as a 751 case. These are temporary custody by a relative caregiver. So a temporary custody by a relative caregiver will give a relative of the child the ability to have custody of the child for an indefinite period of time. And during that period, that relative has all of the rights to the child really that a parent would have. And these will last until a new court order comes in and gets rid of the order that grants the temporary custody. So these are definitely more permanent than a power of attorney. A power of attorney can be terminated by the parent at any point in time and can also last for a particular duration. So temporary custody lasts a little bit longer and the rights are more comprehensive, but it is limited to family members. So from there, we move up to adoptions. And adoptions, well, we also have, let me stop for a second and say there are some guardianship types of proceedings that can also happen, though we typically recommend, when at all possible, to stay out of the guardianship proceedings because the record keeping and maintenance of the cases and reporting that's required can really be quite expensive for families to deal with. So from a relative caregiver temp custody, we have a full adoption. So full adoptions happen in a number of different ways. We have relative adoptions and non-relative adoptions, and we have step-parent adoptions. And we even have adult adoptions. So for relative adoptions or for step-parent adoptions, these can be accomplished relatively easily and with very little cost if the parents are consenting to the adoption occurring. If the parents do not consent, then things get much more complicated, and evaluation of those kinds of cases really has to be taken one by one, so you would need to contact an attorney to have a consultation. Our office provides free consultations on those kinds of cases. But if everyone is consenting, it's relatively easy. If we have non-relatives who are trying to adopt a child, someone who is not related, either a step-parent or a relative, even if everyone consents, it's a little bit more complicated. The state requires us to have home studies done, and the cost definitely are greater than it would be if there's a relative involved. But you still can accomplish these with less money than some people think if everybody is on board. It's really the circumstances where parents are not in agreement with these things happening that things get a little bit more complicated. If the parents do not agree, then we can move forward with both adoptions and we can move forward with relative caregiver temp custody cases. It's just the situation becomes a little bit more complex and can require litigation and decisions by judges. So if you are finding yourself in a situation where you would either like another person to care for your child, either for a period of time, or you would like to have another person adopt the child, or you are on the other end where you would like to care for a child or you would like to adopt a child that's not your own, contact our office. We're happy to provide a free consultation and talk you through what options are available, what you need for your particular facts, and what is the most cost-effective and time-efficient way to get the job done. Thanks for tuning in today. Bye.